Jesus entered Jericho and was passing through it. A man there was named Zacchaeus. He was a tax collector and was rich. He was trying to see who Jesus was, but on account of the crowd he could not, because he was short in stature. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore tree to see him, because he was going to pass that way. When Jesus came to the place, he looked up and said to him, "Zacchaeus, hurry up and come down, for I must stay at your house today." So he hurried down and was happy to welcome him. All who saw it began to grumble and said, "He is going to be the guest of one who is a sinner." Zacchaeus stood there and said to the Lord, "Look, half of my possessions, Lord, I will give to the poor, and if I have defrauded anyone of anything, I will pay back 4 times as much." Then Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, because he too is the son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek out and to save the lost." This is the gospel of the Lord. So this gospel reading about Zacchaeus. He's described as a chief tax collector, and he's rich. As such, he was an outcast to his own people. He had no standing in society, and he was in cahoots with the Roman occupiers. He preyed on his own people, and because of that he was looked down and despised by all. Remember how the tax collector in Luke chapter 18 was despised? And more than that, Zacchaeus was a short man. As our version I read this morning, he was short in stature. So I wonder, what is our Zacchaeus story? When have we been Zacchaeus? I wonder if we've experienced being short in stature. It happens in all sorts of ways. Has life ever cut us down to size? Have we ever felt small and insignificant, ignored and little importance to anyone? Have we ever felt we just don't measure up, that we're not enough? Do you sometimes feel as if you're on the outside, never an insider? Does it seem as if we can't outgrow our past or the opinions of others? Does it seem that our life is just kind of stuck and standing still, and our growth has become stunted? And perhaps we even wonder if Jesus ever notices us, knows who we are, knows our names. Have we ever felt powerless and overwhelmed by the circumstances of our life? Does it sometimes feel as if our value, our self-worth and dignity are defined by our past, what we have left undone and what we have done? I wonder if we've ever experienced being lost and just anonymous. And if we answered yes to any of those or 1,000 other questions like that, then probably we know what it's like to be short in stature. We know what it's like to be Zacchaeus. I know too what that's like. Like the day I didn't get the teaching post I really wanted so much. Like the day some years ago when I was signed off work with ill health. Like the day I'd received feedback on my dissertation and had to almost begin rewriting it again. And every time we feel like that, feel short in stature, we just want to run away and escape our life. And it's a very natural human reaction. We want to jump out of our life and into another life. But we can't. It's our life, and it's the only life we have. If Jesus is going to do anything new with our life, it has to start with it as it is. To run away from, ignore, or try to escape our life as it is denies Jesus anything to work with. The antidote to being short in stature is facing our life, not running from it. That's what Zacchaeus does. He refuses. He just won't be lost in the crowd. He refuses to hide. He refuses to run away from who he is. So he runs ahead of the crowd and climbs a tree. And everyone could see what he was doing. Luke says it was so that he could see Jesus. But here's what I wonder. What if he climbed the tree because he really wanted to be seen by Jesus? What if Zacchaeus was offering all that he was and all that he had to Jesus? What if that was in him, was crying out, "Here I am, look at me, this is my life. I too want to be recognized as the son of Abraham." I wonder if Zacchaeus, as he ran ahead of the crowd, just had a kind of inner knowledge that Jesus could do something for him. And that's exactly what Jesus did. He stopped and looked up at Zacchaeus. I wonder if that might have been the first time that anyone had ever looked up to Zacchaeus. The people he stole money from certainly wouldn't have. They would have probably flung the coins on his tax collector's table without bothering to look at him. They didn't like him so much. But Jesus looked up to him with love and acceptance. Jesus looked up and invited himself into Zacchaeus' home, into his life. He saw more than this grasping, greedy tax collector, a rich man and a short little man. He saw what Zacchaeus couldn't see for himself. He saw one of his own. In the eyes of the crowd, Zacchaeus was a sinner. He was a write-off. He could be forgotten. He could be disregarded. A little man who's made up his wealth in dishonest ways. A little man who worked for the hated Roman occupants. But in the eyes of Jesus, Zacchaeus is a son of Abraham. Zacchaeus was sought, seen and saved. The lost one had been found. Found like the lost coin, the lost sheep, the lost son. That's what we want, don't we, when we are short in stature? We want to see Jesus, but more than that, we want to be seen by Jesus, even when we don't like ourselves or accept what we see in ourselves. We want to know that Jesus sees more in us than we can see in ourselves. We want to be reminded that we are more than what we have become. We want to know that despite what has become of our lives, we too are children of Abraham. We want Jesus to call us out of our tree, to come to a new life. And it's what Zacchaeus wanted. Well, this is our day, because that's what the promise in today's gospel holds for each one of us. Whatever it is that's made us short in stature, we'll all have different things that have made us short in stature and run up the tree. That's the place where Jesus stops, where Jesus looks up with love and acceptance and calls us back down into a new life. It's so easy to hear the name Zacchaeus and think, yes, that greedy little tax collector. And we see the ways we've become short in stature. But that's only part of the truth. It's only part of the picture. Do you know what the name Zacchaeus means? It means pure, clean, or innocent. That's the greater truth. That's what Jesus saw in Zacchaeus. It's what Jesus sees in me and you, even when we don't see it in ourselves or each other. He looks up and calls us back to our truest self. Zacchaeus, you come down here right now. That's not who you are. That's not your place. You come down. I must stay at your house today. And that's what Jesus can do for us. Seek us out, find us, and stay with us. And He can walk with us each day through good times and bad. That's not your place, Zacchaeus. You come down. I must stay at your house today.